Welcome to the Atari user channel. We covered the original Atari 410 in an earlier video. We've now got both versions side by side. This is the 410A. This is a much more common version. This model was on sale for barely a year. This model lasted right up until 1983 when it was replaced by the 1010. So we've got a European version here. Now this differs to its North American counterpart by having to use an external power supply. You've got a jack here. It's a 6-volt DC supply, 300 milliamps. It's exactly the same power requirements as the original 410 here. This would have come, in the UK at least, with a TAD mod power supply. This particular model, the play function would work, but it wouldn't actually load anything successfully. Rewind was a struggle. Advance didn't work at all. To get into the 410, you've got 4 Phillips screws here. Unscrew those, remove them. You'll be able to take off the bottom. That gives you access to all the internals. The first thing you're going to see is a mounted motherboard. You need to unscrew that. One of the screws on the left, around here, has a washer with it, so make a note of where that goes. That will then allow you to lift the motherboard, but you need to be careful because there's various wires soldered to it, and you can then see the drive belt. So the 410 has 4 belts, one for play, one for the counter, and then a fast forward and a rewind belt. So you would think with the problems that this has got that potentially one or more belts has actually failed. If you're very careful, you can lift the motherboard, which will give you reasonable access to where the drive belt is. There's a metal capstan around here and a pulley here somewhere, which you'll be able to see clearly. The main problem that the 410s have is that the belts develop a kink around the pulley. If I stretch that a little bit there, you can just make out the kink. So this causes problems with obviously loading cassettes and potentially, as we'll find out with this one, fast forward and rewind. So we've got 4 belts, potentially could be 1 or 2 that need replacing. On top of the capstan you've got a white part which I'm going to call a bridge. It screws in on top of the capstan. You need to unscrew that, remove it, and then you can actually swap the drive belt out. It's then simply a case of screwing the bridge part back on and just making sure that the belt sits properly on the capstan, on the pulley, so on the grooves. Make sure the capstan and the pulley turn with finger movements. You can see they both turn. There's no sort of obvious twists in the belt. Now, simply by replacing the main drive belt, that fixed the loading problem, and it also fixed the problem with fast forward and rewind. So I would say what I've learned from this video is, yes, okay, that this unit has 4 drive belts, but if you've got a problem with fast forward and rewind, for example, just try replacing the main belt by itself first, and you may find that you don't need to go any further. Getting access to the rewind belt on this unit is particularly difficult. It's going to involve some time. All the internals actually screw into the top part of the case, so it's nowhere near as simple as servicing, for example, the original 410. So we're just going to give it a quick demo so you can hear the motor there. You can hear the spindle turning on a fast forward, and you can hear it again on rewind. So once again, even though we've got 4 belts actually inside this machine, you may find that simply replacing the drive belt will cure your problems. Give it a go. If you like the video, please subscribe and click on the bell. Until the next one, bye.